Excellent, thank you very much. So I will be talking about ethics reflection through fictional research abstracts. And the topic that we are looking at is creative AI. So basically AI applied to art and design, which, as has been in the media attention, presents many pressing ethical challenges. And on the other hand, we face the problem that AI ethics guidelines have been very widely criticized for being not very actionable. So we try a new method here in 2 workshops with creative AI practitioners, in which we have them writing fictional research abstracts, that is future-oriented research scenarios, and then engage in discussions about these research abstracts. So, Eckridge has described how technological artifacts come into being by establishing a script, an imaginary about the intended place and the intended use of the imagined artifact. So that means that imaginaries are a leverage point for analyzing all kinds of value systems related to artifacts, especially in situated perspectives. And it has also been shown that studying imaginaries of future through speculation, that it is very useful in the context of AI systems and analyzing the ethical values. And it has been argued also that in research on computational creativity systems, such as creative AI technology, that these kind of speculative approaches can help us to understand better the contexts and the values. So, in our study, we used fictional research abstracts to materialize imaginaries on creative AI futures. So, where these fictional research abstracts describe future studies that did not really take place, taking that idea from Blythe. The advantage of that is it's very easy, so it's a low resource commitment, and at least in the context where we used it, it's a format our participants felt very familiar with and which presents a very easy starting point into a discussion about future. And we connect that with anticipatory technology ethics, where, to quote Polly, to anticipate means exploring future possibilities with the aim to guide action in the present. So we use this we apply anticipatory technology ethics as an analytical lens to examine the depth of ethical considerations that we see in our texts in the fictional research abstracts. And I just would like to say that the central thing that we will have a look at is the dimensionalities, the 3 analytical perspectives that are mentioned in this framework. 1, the technology level, which is a perspective that looks at the concept of a whole technology, so quite high level. Artifact level, that is a perspective that focuses on specific instances of a technology. And application perspective that situates these instances in a specific socio-cultural context. So our methodology is that we had basically 2 workshops with 22 participants writing abstracts, and we describe in a top-down fashion first these abstracts, analyzing various dimensions of these, but then also bottom-up we do a thematic analysis of what we see in these abstracts. So the top-down analysis reveals of these abstracts that we obtained, reveals a variety of research domains, technology framings and research methods that are present in these abstracts. But I will just talk a little bit now about some of the details, cherry-picking some of the aspects that I find interesting, and leave you to reading the more details in the paper if you wish. So participants highlighted different concerns and ideas regarding creative AI, from copyright and societal impacts to future solutions and governmental policy. And 4 out of 10 abstracts were concerned with societal impacts on human agents. But at the same time, we saw very clearly that there was a focus on imagining futures that AI could enable. So collective consciousness, neurological art therapy, inter-machine communications, and so on. And notably, some of the core workshop themes were absent from the discussion. So we started all our workshops, or the 2 workshops, also with the discussion of environmental sustainability of these creative AI tools, and that was largely absent from the shaped abstracts afterwards. We also observed a large number of technological solutions in the form of new problem-solving innovations, particularly regarding authorship and coding workflows. And it was interesting to see that creative AI practitioners approached the task of writing abstracts very diversely. While some imagined laboratory studies, others imagined more ethnographic observations or artistic research experiments, for example, also. So we obtained then from our bottom-up analysis, from the thematic analysis, a range of themes. The first 2 are hardly surprising in such a context: impact on creativity, role of AI in AI-human relationships, okay. I would like to highlight, for example, the 3rd theme, projected change. So that involved considerations of how humans might increasingly work in teams due to increased socializing facilitated by time freed from manual labor, or on the other hand, how human experiences might become segmented in experience bubbles due to hyper-personalization capabilities of creative AIs. So these were some of the themes that we obtained, and very interestingly, also our 5th theme, normative aspirations, was the most disparate and least present in the research abstracts, despite our framing of the workshops. And it considered notions in the Imaginaries about what kind of benevolent normative aspirations were present. These, for example, included cultural diversity, environmental awareness, accountability, and human well-being. Well, in terms of the anticipatory technology ethics, we encountered that 8 out of 10 of our abstracts engaged with the application perspectives, 7 out of 10 engaged with the artifact perspective, and only 1 out of 10 with the technological perspective. To remind you, the technological perspective was the most high-level one, so our abstracts were very concrete and very situated in social situations and applications, which I think is a very interesting result that we get here, that we are very situated in these texts. However, we notice a lack of diversity, and we see that the texts, despite our aim to become more anticipatory, are still quite reactionary rather than anticipatory. So, well, basically I have said all these conclusions already, that we have these 5 themes, and that we see kind of a certain focus on very much situated applications, and that we see a certain limitation in well, the forward view in the anticipation, and that we see still, despite our framing, a very strong reactionary aspect of our texts. But I think that leaves me with a few minutes maybe for questions if there are, and thank you very much for your attention.